Welcome to Paris in the desert. So this project took us a short but very intense 6 months. It's an Airbnb, so we had not a lot of time to complete it. So all of the designs we did right up front, and we had a lot going on. So let me show you what we had. The foyer here, it is a raised step. We initially were going to demo it, but it was going to be way too complicated. So we wanted to delineate the foyer, which actually turned out to be great. We took 12 by 24 tiles, so they were pretty inexpensive, 2 different colors, and we sliced them in half to create this Harlequin floor. So into the luxury kitchen, we moved the kitchen actually because of some structural issues, and we wanted the kitchen to be very big, accommodate double appliances because it is a kosher friendly kitchen. We moved it over here, which turned out to be great because the window has an amazing view out onto the fountain and the side yard, which is going to be very beautifully landscaped once we have a guest house built there. So for the cabinets, we went up with a white oak, and it has this beautiful grain to it. And we did a Taj Mahal quartzite countertop. We decided to go all the way up the backsplash with the Taj Mahal and create this ledge here for your spices and oils, some decor. We went with satin nickel hardware, and we did all knobs because we wanted it to be a little more traditional. While the white oak is more modern, and some elements in here are more modern, we wanted to add some more like organic feel, which is the satin nickel, and a more traditional look with the double knobs instead of pulls. We plastered in the range vent and put some Roman clay on it for some texture and warmth. For the sink, since we did undermount, we did this stone basin just for another organic material here. And since it wasn't a farmhouse, we could do this cool apron in the front with the stone. We had extra stone left over, so I was like, what else could we do with it? We did more satin nickel fixtures. This bridge faucet is like amazing, chef's kiss. We decided to tile on the windowsill. It's just an extra moment that you can have for decor, your hand soap, stuff like that. We did lots of drawers in here. Drawers are my favorite to put in the kitchen because they're way more convenient than just reaching back into a cabinet. Again, double dishwashers, double appliances, everything. This also doubles as a convection oven. We did a sconce in between the 2 arches because you really need to accentuate the arches when you have them. We actually added these arches as an architectural feature, but they were a necessity. So the kitchen was over there, which I'll show you later, and there were some load-bearing beams in there, and we were unable to take those out, so we camouflaged them with the arches. For the dining room, this used to be just dead space. The kitchen was pushed back there. There was actually like a bar here that wasn't really usable, and then this was just nothing. And we really wanted a large dining room to accommodate, you know, big dinner parties. This house sleeps 16 people, so you really want to be able to accommodate large groups. And we were able to do this long dining table, a linear fixture that matched the length of the table. For the vibe of the furniture in here, we really went modern Parisian, so lots of modern lines. The velvet is really luxe. We wanted it super luxurious. Some roundness in the table on the reeded base and the top, and then some roundness on the credenza as well with the sides and the handles. And then we squared it off with a picture light and some art. So when I walked you through here before, I told you this was going to be my favorite room in the house. It's my favorite room in the house. It feels very like studio loft in Paris. I really wanted to do a low profile bed for that reason, and it's just super luxurious and comfy. We have these really glowy nightstand lights. My favorite part is the doors on this side that lead to the fountain, and then this window that looks out to the pickleball court. You get this like Mediterranean Zen vibe out here, and then some fountain vibes out there, and you can just open the door when the weather is nice and listen to the fountain. I wanted to have a desk in here so people could work, so This is like the office if no one's staying here in this room. And then more organic materials with the travertine nightstands. For more contrast, we did a black reeded dresser and a super glam vintage mirror. So we reoriented the bar. It used to actually run this way, and it prevented you from going into the living room from the kitchen or dining room. You had to walk all the way around. So this really helped with the flow. It wasn't a wet bar before, so we added a sink. You know, we wanted to keep it kosher friendly, so we needed an extra sink and an extra fridge. We did this custom polished brass shelving unit, which is amazing, and some really cool modern sconces. It's very close to the kitchen, kind of an extension of the kitchen, so we kept with the modern white oak quarter-line shaker cabinets and the Taj Mahal counter and backsplash. We did change up the hardware a little bit though to match with the brass, and we did a brushed brass hardware, brushed brass faucet, and a brushed brass glass filler, which is my favorite feature of a bar or a kitchen. This bathroom is one of two that we added. The kitchen was actually right here. The doorway to get into the kitchen was right here, and I saw the opportunity to add two bathrooms and move the kitchen. This bathroom, because everything out here is very modern Parisian, this is the modern Parisian bathroom. So in here we did a floating walnut vanity. It did come with legs, but I wanted it a little more modern and less traditional. The legs were very traditional because they were turned. And so we did brushed brass hardware in here. We did polished brass everything else. I really wanted a wall mount faucet in here, and these are just very traditional while still sleek and modern. I wanted a moment with the lighting. So we did this one sconce in here. There is additional lighting, but I love when it's just the one sconce on because it's so glowy and warm. And at night I would just leave it on and walk by this bathroom and smile because it's so beautiful. A Carrera top for this. It's just, you know, a little more luxe and traditional. I wanted it to be very hotel feeling. So in the shower, all of the, instead of Schluter or a bullnose edge, we did this polished brass strip. We did a Calicut viola look for the shower walls. It's actually a 24 by 48 porcelain tile that we stacked vertically. In the shower on the accent is this jade marble convex fluted tile that we stacked vertically as well. I thought it was really unique when I saw it. I knew that I had to use it. There are touches of green in here. I thought just like this combination was very modern Parisian. And then for a more modern element, we did this fluted arched stationary panel for the shower glass. And we did some polished brass exposed plumbing fixtures in the shower for just like that uber luxurious hotel feel. Instead of a niche in the shower, we did a ledge, which you can utilize the entire width of the shower, and is just a lot more interesting than a niche, I think. We also did a linear drain, which is a tile in, so you can tile on top of the drain, and it's very seamless with the floor tile. So in the living room, the ceilings are super high, so I wanted a really statement chandelier that drew your eye up, and I found this beautiful, beautiful, huge chandelier, and it kind of has that curvature that gives you a more Parisian feel, but it's bronze, so it gives you that organic material as well, because we're in the desert. We want people to enjoy Arizona and have the organic materials. All of the furniture, I wanted some curvature in there because that is the modern Parisian way. So we did these barrel swivel chairs, these really cool architectural end tables. We did these ribbed ottomans that are an additional rounded furniture. The couch matches the barrel chairs and has that roundness as well. And then we squared it off with the bench, but it still has some roundness in there, and it's velvet. And I really wanted a lot of textures in here, some really luxurious textures like boucle and velvet. These barrel chairs and the couch are both boucle. We did this massive, massive coffee table in here, and we had to style it with a lot of stuff, but all very modern Parisian, like uber luxurious feeling. The fireplace is actually a wood burning fireplace behind this. We didn't want Airbnb renters to use a wood burning fireplace, so we built this electric one into it, and we squared everything off with plaster and did a Roman clay texture for some extra warmth. The laundry room, I know this is weird, but I think this is my second favorite room in the house. We did, again, the Harlequin tile that you saw in the foyer that we cut from the 12 by 24s. We matched the white oak cabinetry, and it pairs perfectly with the flooring. We did an antiqued brass hardware, just little knobs, and it's like a dainty touch. And then we did a wall-mounted cast iron sink that has this beautiful bridge faucet that's polished chrome, and I feel like is just the perfect touch to this laundry room. This bathroom was one of the 2 existing bathrooms in the house. We didn't change the layout because it was actually a pretty good layout already. We just exchanged like for like. We did this reeded sage green vanity that I just wanted to be, you know, very cool, zen, kind of was earthy, like I've been talking about. I wanted it Paris in the desert. We continued the flash ivory zalige from the kitchen in here, but laid it in this stacked way with a border on each row. We did backlit mirrors. There is additional lighting in here, but these mirrors are awesome for Airbnbs. They also defog, and they're great for makeup and have multiple settings. We did satin nickel on the fixtures just for another organic feel, paired with some brushed brass. So both of the brushed textures really combine together naturally and gives an additional interest with the different colors. In the shower, we stacked the flash ivory zalige that we used again, but this time we did a 1-inch grout line that adds some more texture and warmth. We did brushed brass tub filler, hand shower, shower fixtures, and a super long niche. The tub is a soaking tub, so it's really luxurious. This is a second ensuite. It just used to be a single bedroom, but since we added 2 bathrooms, we were able to add one to here. So now the house has 2 ensuite bedrooms. I wanted this vibe to be very, very chill, some more organic materials. We have these custom travertine nightstands that we were able to design with a stoneworker. We did a corduroy bed to add some texture, but kept it neutral to keep it really zen. Some organic materials on the bedding, this linen throw pillows, and some boucle euros. The jade lamps I found and had to do, and I feel like they're super upscale, super modern Parisian. They're real jade, which is amazing. I don't know why I'm putting that in an Airbnb, but I had to have it. This is one of the new bathrooms that we put in the house. This actually used to be the kitchen. Like the range was here, the fridge was right there. So it's kind of crazy and disorienting, but it was really cool that we could do that and make the opening to the bedroom. In this bathroom, I wanted it like the very Arizona Zen vibe. Even though, you know, the house is modern Parisian, we're in the desert, I wanted people to feel like they're going to the spa, and the people that are staying in this room will get that Arizona Zen spa experience. So the walls are Roman clay. The vanity is this white oak convex reeded wood with some brushed brass hardware. We paired it with oil rubbed bronze fixtures and the glass pane on the shower. Some oblong mirrors that are backlit. Again, we really love the backlit for Airbnbs because it's great for makeup. So in the shower, again, super modern Arizona Zen vibes. We went with this sandy, large format tile that's reeded and textured with a bullnose edge, a rain shower head that's brushed brass to match the vanity hardware, and we did the stationary shower glass oil rub bronze to match the sink fixtures. So this room is a little more girly. We love a girly room. I incorporated some blush tones with the pillows, some more natural textures with the linen throw, linen pillows, boucle euros. I found this amazing dresser at the Pottery Barn outlet, and I had to have it. It was like 90% off, but I felt like it matched the vibe in here perfectly. We're a little more mid-century modern in here with the curved bed, the boucle, but I wanted it to still be earthy. We did travertine reeded nightstands and added some more modern touches with the brushed brass sconces. Squared it out with a black mirror here, which is a huge mirror and I love it. And here is the bunk room. It's not a huge room, but we were able to fit 2 triple bunk beds in here. But since it's not huge, I wanted to keep the vibes really serene. You know, this room can sleep 8 people, which is crazy. So things can probably get pretty hectic. So kept it all white, just for the calmness, and added accents like the chocolate velvet lumbar pillows, just for that modern Parisian uber luxe feel, and some really luxurious throws. Since this room sleeps 8 people and they're sharing that 1 bathroom, I wanted an additional station for someone to get ready. So this is like the makeup corner. This is one of the dining chairs that we added. The velvet really ties well into the lumbar pillows here. I loved this scalloped mirror, and it kind of gives like a mid-century vibe too. And then the reeded floating desk. Follow me to the best and last room of the house, the master bedroom. The master bedroom is off of the foyer, away from all the other bedrooms, which I personally love. We love a good French door situation into the master bedroom. So when you come down here, the flooring changes again from the foyer to the wood flooring. I wanted it to feel like a hotel in here, like you're checking in to a 5-star Marriott. So we put box trim molding on the walls. We did this long paneled boucle headboard and bolted these sconces right into there. No, the sconces did not come that way, but when you go to a hotel, you typically have the lighting built into the furniture, and I wanted that vibe in here. This used to be a built-in that was just an original 70s oak built-in. We took that out, put the white oak cabinets in here from the kitchen and the bar. We did the antiqued bronze hardware and a 2-centimeter Taj Mahal quartzite top. This little corner we needed to do something with, so we did this gridded black floor mirror that ties in with the black of the nightstands, a barreled chair that just adds a little more texture and warmth, and some beautiful floral printed lumbar pillow. The master bathroom, we did antiqued brass everywhere in here because, again, uber luxurious hotel feeling, but the antique brass is a little earthier than a polished or a brushed brass. And we did the X-knob faucets with a more traditional curvature to the faucet. In the wet room, we didn't change the orientation or the layout at all because it's a smaller room, but I actually really liked the sunken tub, just not how it was executed. So we took some of the Taj Mahal quartzite that we had left over and put it around the tub, and it really elevated it. You should have seen it before. We added the same convex fluted tile that we have in the shower onto the tub surround, did an antiqued brass telephone tub filler. Gotta have the telephone, super hotel vibes. We ended the tub view out with this beautiful chandelier. It's kind of frilly modern Parisian, and it fit the space perfectly. It added more texture and warmth to an otherwise colder space. For the shower, we did this Calcutta Oro gold convex fluted stacked mosaic tile, and the gold gives you the warmth, but the Calcutta, the way that it has this rich veining in it, is super luxurious. Exposed plumbing. We did an extra long niche and some matching antique brass hardware on the shower glass. Welcome to your desert paradise. So the pool, we did a lot of work to. The shell was existing that you see in the front, and we blasted it out and added the lazy river and created this island in the middle. The whole vibe for this backyard and the exterior is modern, Mediterranean, kind of Zen-like. You know, I still wanted it earthy. We're in Arizona, and we did a really dark pool with a contrasting limestone decking. We kept a lot of the shrubbery. We moved around a lot of stuff. We want cactus here. We're in Arizona, and I wanted it desert Zen Mediterranean. The limestone decking has these shells in it that are beautiful. Our pool company did this really cool linear drain, so you don't have like an ugly kind of chrome stuff that you usually see, which I'm not a huge fan of. The waterline tile of the pool, we wanted to match as much as possible with the Pebble Tech. So we kept it really dark. Again, desert Mediterranean. For the landscaping, we did metal edging. I wanted it very desert-like, so kind of like you're walking through the desert botanical garden. And then we made a lot of entrances and exits, kind of guiding you through the backyard. And one of them is here, and it goes straight to the gym. Welcome to the gym. This used to be a tool shed, believe it or not. We paneled it with pine, tongue and groove. We wanted it to feel like cedar, like you're in a sauna. So we did this weathered oak staining to tone down the yellowness. We added a sauna, which I'm going to be using a lot, and a cold plunge. We have this towel warmer bar, so when you get out of the cold plunge, you can envelop yourself in a warm towel. A bench that doubles as, you know, chilling by the cold plunge, or you can use it for the gym. We did a black mirror and some gym equipment in here. Another exit you can take on our desert botanical walk is this 4-hole putting course with a bocce ball in between. We kind of wanted the bocce ball to double as a bunker, but all of these holes have some cool grooves. You know, we're in Scottsdale, Arizona. Everyone loves to golf. For the built-in fire pit, we matched the limestone decking for the top of that and the bench. We have a life-size chessboard. We had some extra turf left over, and our turf company was so gracious and did this really cool chessboard for us, and it's so fun. We lined everything with riprap, these huge rocks, again for the desert Mediterranean vibe, and lined the wall with ficus, and hopefully the ficus are going to grow in huge and beautiful and be a beautiful hedge. Desert botanical garden pathway, and it's all lined with the metal edging and the olive bushes. I loved the olive bush idea because we have 5 huge, probably over 50-year-old olive trees, honestly maybe closer to 100-year-old olive trees on the property, and they fruit and they're beautiful. And I just loved having all the olive bushes. Again, it's like Mediterranean vibes. For the pickleball court, we wanted it neutral to match the desert zen vibe, so we did this color scheme. We did these bronze hat lights around the landscaping. Thanks for joining me on this journey and touring Paris in the desert. If you want help with the renovation, just fill out an inquiry on sentenachouse.com. Otherwise, we'll see you on the next one. Thanks.